men, and I really believe that the men do not like women anymore. I really believe that.
They're envying the women.
Exactly. If you're telling me as a man, a heterosexual man, you spend time on social media going back and forth with women, talking about how you hate women that wear makeup, you hate women that do this. The only time I've ever heard of a group of people spend a lot of time focusing on another group of people they hate is slavery. And what is it? They wanted to beat us. Okay?
Yeah.
So if a man does all of that and talks about his hatred for women so loudly and overtly, I'm going to go with the wild assumption that you want to beat us. And I don't want no man that want to beat me, baby.
So doesn't that logic still apply to her because she's on the podcast talking about what men are doing? So does she want to be a man? Is that why she got that leather headband bandana situation going on? You look like Tupac joined the biker gang, but let me not go in on her. Let's talk about the fact that for 50 years, 70s, 80s, we've heard tropes. Strong, independent, don't need no man. We've heard women go on talk shows and talk down about men. We've seen women take these same men on talk shows and say that he's the father of a child, and he ends up not being the father. And then there's another dude on backstage, and he gets DNA tested, and he's not the father. And the crowd will boo the man, even once he's not the father, will still boo him and shame him for not taking care of a child that's not his. Let's talk about all of the years before social media ever existed that we had talk shows where women who had open forum freely to discuss what they wanted to about men, no matter how negative, and even outside of talk shows, you have media, you have movies and TV shows where women were allowed to say these things about men. All of a sudden now when men have a space where they can say, hey, ladies, these are some of the behaviors that we see from y'all that we think would be more beneficial to our community and to our relationships if you change, if you readjust it. And you notice what she says, something about hair, wigs, makeup, nails, and all that. So that sounds like you're personally triggered by that. That ain't got nothing to do with the men. If you need all them enhancements underneath this biker, this is a real live Black Panther, the militant group / No Limit Soldier. Not even the actual Black Panthers. She looks like what the police tried to say the Black Panthers was back in the day.
In the 2000s, it is so hard for a king to find a queen, not a masculine woman, that understand their degrees, business, money don't matter to a man, just how you treat him.
Now,
first off, he said the 2000s like Cash Money finna take over for the 99 in the 2000s. This boy comes straight out of a comic book that's 30 years old.
You may not want to hear this. Next thing I'm about to say.
Give it to me in the raw.
A masculine man has never had a problem making a woman be feminine.
That's because it's not a masculine man's job to make a woman feminine. A woman has to already be feminine. That's called conditional femininity. It's no different than asking a woman to make a man masculine. That's not her job. You don't want a man that's in process or learning how to be a man. You want a man that's already a man, right? Okay, it works the same exact way. That'd be mistake number one that a lot of women make.
There's something that is present in the energy of the most realest of that when you get around the real in you gonna know how to turn that off. And any men that complain about, you ever hear men be like, yeah, why women ain't doing this and that? It's because she's not trying to do that for you, though.
I don't necessarily have a problem with that because I do believe, like, as a man, you gotta be, you're a man, and if you're a man and you're woman, even if she is feminine and you're acting feminine, it is gonna put her in a masculine frame. But what I'm saying is coming to the table with that. You can't just come masculine and the man has to turn on your femininity. No. That's the reason why a lot of men will skip over women because they're not already exuding the femininity. A masculine man anyway. So ladies, if you meet a man and he has to bring your femininity out of you and he's not masculine enough to do it, then why are you even with him? Why would you be with a man that you have to be masculine with?
Something in your masculinity that you gotta exert some type of big energy in you that makes her remember she's a woman. You gotta poke your chest out and hold your head up when you speak to women because if it's one thing that we respect, it's leadership. And if I'm ever in a position where I feel like I gotta lead you anywhere, then I'm gonna show you that my is bigger than yours.
Well, what if the whole time?
Now, that was a very masculine thing. The whole way she just explained that was very masculine. There was nothing feminine in her response. Talking about big dick energy, and I'm going to show you that my dick is bigger than yours. And that was just a masculine-ass response. So do you understand why that's already a problem? I would like to hear a feminine woman's response to that question. I would like to hear a feminine woman with a feminine perspective explain it in a feminine way, a soft way. You know, does that woman sound like the type of woman that, ooh, yeah, I want to be with her? That sound like a challenge, a hill that you have to climb up, a battle that you have to conquer. What do you think men want more? We got 1,000,001 challenges out here in the world. Being black, being a black man, living in America, not getting paid as much, not getting respected the same way, education, employment, housing, all of these things that we're up against as black people in general, black men in particular, because the weight of the world is literally put on our shoulders. We have all these challenges in the world. What man wants to come home or even just meet a woman that talks like that and is a challenge?
You leave all the things you saying. What if the whole time all the things you saying I'm doing, but I'm still getting disrespected?
Again,
Let's see if she holds the woman accountable or if she just puts it all on the man. Even though he's doing everything that she said, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, but he's still getting disrespected. Let's see what she says.
next thing I'm gonna say,
Go ahead,
you may not want to hear.
Listen, I want to hear.
Okay.
I ain't up out
Okay.
here in this sweet.
Unpopular opinion. Even if we don't always want to listen to our man, we bow down to the that is doing it right. If a is working you the right way, you can want to talk back all you want, but you ain't trying to lose the access to the treatment that you get. And you ever heard the saying, this might be a little vulgar, but being into submission. You wasn't listening to me. Who you think you talking to? Let me show you how I'm about to do this. And the next thing you know, you going, damn, you right, babe. You right. I ain't mean nothing I was talking about. Men who are putting it down correctly at home do not be having these problems.
No.
Okay, so in other words, it's all sexual. And again, this goes back to something that Kevin Samuels used to say all the time, is a lot of women only look at men as a utility. Somebody that can pay the bills and somebody that could fuck her right. And I have no problem being that second utility with women and I'm just smashing and going on about my business. I don't really care about that. But everything that she's said has came down to a sexual thing. Well, if you're respectable, if you're doing everything that I'm saying and she's still not listening, that must mean that you're not fucking her right. This is what this all amounts to. Again, what is feminine about any of that stuff that she said? A feminine woman, they don't talk like this. They don't make everything, they like sex. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that they don't be into sex. I'm saying like that type of response is masculine as hell.
If you're living with a man and you guys live here, you're living with a provider. I repeat, if you're living with a man and you guys live here, you're living with a loser.
And this is exactly what the fuck I'm talking about when I tell y'all stay the fuck off Instagram. If you living with a man right now and he paying them fucking bills and got a roof over your fucking head with running water, bitch, you dealing with a real nigga, man. Fuck what the fuck they talking about. It don't matter, bitch, if y'all living in a fucking mansion or one bedroom or none bedroom fucking efficiency. If a nigga got a fucking roof over your head in this economy with running water, bitch, a roof over your head, period. You dealing with a fucking winner. Fuck what they be talking about on Instagram.
All right, this is funny to me because just judging, since she wants to judge men off of the house that they are supposedly paying for with the woman. She ain't say nothing about what the woman is providing or doing anything with. So since she wants the judgment off of that, I'm going to say just judge based off of how she looks and presenting herself. She's pointing at her own damn house right here. Imagine calling a man a loser because he's got you in a house that you yourself can't even afford. And then you have young ladies like Blizzo up here who actually make sense. The nails, the lashes, the weave, everything. She has the whole entire makeup of the type of woman that I would expect to agree with what Shawty is saying. And she's actually saying the opposite. Salutes to you. I don't know her name. I just call her Blizzo just because she kind of looks like Lizzo a little bit. It is what it is.
Proud of your husband?
Look, I would choose my child's father because we can make more children.
Honorary doctorate, Dr. Sarah Fondant, is saying, and this is my concern, because it's positioned as expertise. It's positioned as someone who's saying something that someone will be like, that's egregious. And you'd be like, maybe I should think about it because she has the intellectual standing to be able to say such things. And the bulk of her career is selling Herbalife and being in Country Wayne skits.
Close enough. Welcome back, Barry White. God. Boy, Jesus. I don't know what I'm responding to right here, to be completely honest. But I will say this. There's a lot of people that debate. Hold on, I got to change that frame. That's a scary... there is a man I'd hate to fight. There's a lot of people that have this conversation about if your child or your spouse was drowning and you could only save one, which one would you save? And of course, this post was full of women that agreed with the tenor from the trans tenor. I don't know if that's... I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know what that was that I was just listening to. I know what I was listening to, but I'm not quite sure what I was looking at. But it's a lot of women, of course, that agreed and said, oh, yeah, she's tripping. And, that's why I would ever pick a man over my child and this, that, and the third. So I understand that some people don't see it that way. I'm honest, I don't know which one I would choose, to be completely honest. That's why I hate these silly hypothetical questions of things that are probably 0.00001% chance is actually going to happen. How about this? And I appreciate Sarah for what she's saying, but how about this, ladies? Would you choose your family over your happiness or your happiness over your family? How about that? Answer that question.
Created a whole bunch of stories in my head.
What were they?
That he was having sex with someone else there.
Okay. Was he?
No.
No. So when you told yourself the story, he was having sex with someone else there, did you pick one of them or did you picture all those women went off? And
one specifically.
One specific one. So notice there's a very specific trigger for her. She saw them going into a room together in her head. Did they actually go in that room?
I don't think so.
And so you pictured that, and when you pictured that, what were your thoughts? What were your feelings?
Actually relief, in a sense of now I really have a reason to end the relationship. Like I've caught him. It's done.
Did y'all hear this?
I needed to end it.
Did you guys hear this? This is how women think. I can catch him, so now I'm relieved. Why is she relieved? Because she's definitely afraid he was going to leave, so she wants to leave first. So she's been looking for a way to justify it in herself so she won't beat herself up. So she won't have to explain to her sisters, why'd you let him go? He's a good guy. You could have turned him into a prince. Just enough manipulation and redirection and coaching.
And that's all that's needed. And this is the type of women that a lot of people say that they hope die single with 18 cats. It's like they don't want... And no, this is not... I don't even think this is the majority of women. I think it's less than half. I think it's a big enough percentage that it needs to be addressed. But it does happen. And we see it happen to some of the best guys. Like they don't ever have to manipulate their way out of relationships with toxic dudes. You ever notice that? They'll stick with a toxic dude for years and decades and claim that, well, I was young and dumb. And, after you put so much time in, the sunken cost fallacy kicks in and, the kids and everything. These be the men that they will procreate with. But the good guy, the guy that's taking care of everything, I don't know. Is it because he's boring? That's what a lot of them like to say. They feel like they can do better. They think they can do better, so they just look for a reason to exit. No sympathy for them whatsoever. Artists, brands, business owners, if you want more exposure, you need more views. Get promoted on my platforms today. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, millions of followers, millions of views. DM me or email me, bookingcranklucas@gmail.com. Let's grow your following together.